Hi, kids. Welcome to week 2, day 3 of our reading plan in Foundations. Today we're going to read Genesis 11 through 12. Genesis 11. The Tower of Babel. The whole world had only one language, and everyone spoke it. They moved to the east and found a broad valley in Babylon. There they made their home. They said to one another, "Come on, let's make bricks and bake them well." They used bricks instead of stones. They used tar to hold the bricks together. Then they said, "Come on, let's build a city for ourselves. Let's build a tower that reaches to the sky. We'll make a name for ourselves. Then we won't be scattered over the whole earth." But the Lord came down to see the city and the tower the people were building. He said, "All these people are united and speak the same language. That is why they can do all this. Now they will be able to do anything they plan. Come on, let's go down and mix up their language. Then they will not be able to understand one another." So the Lord scattered them from there over the whole earth, and they stopped building the city. There the Lord mixed up the language of the world. That's why the city was called Babel. From there, the Lord scattered them over the whole earth. The family line of Shem. Here is the story of Shem's family line. It was 2 years after the flood. When Shem was 100 years old, he became the father of Arphaxad. After Arphaxad was born, Shem lived 500 years and had other sons and daughters. When Arphaxad had lived 35 years, he became the father of Shelah. After Shelah was born, Arphaxad lived 403 years and had other sons and daughters. When Shelah had lived 30 years, he became the father of Eber. After Eber was born, Shelah lived 403 years and had other sons and daughters. When Eber had lived 34 years, he became the father of Peleg. After Peleg was born, Eber lived 430 years and had other sons and daughters. When Peleg had lived 30 years, he became the father of Reu. After Reu was born, Peleg lived 209 years and had other sons and daughters. When Reu had lived 32 years, he became the father of Serug. After Serug was born, Reu lived 207 years and had other sons and daughters. When Serug had lived 30 years, he became the father of Nahor. After Nahor was born, Serug lived 200 years and had other sons and daughters. When Nahor had lived 29 years, he became the father of Terah. After Terah was born, Nahor lived 119 years and had other sons and daughters. After Terah was 70 years old, he became the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran. The family line of Abram. Here is the story of Terah's family line. Terah became the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran became the father of Lot. Haran died in the city of Ur in Babylonia, the land where he was born. Haran died while his father Terah was still alive. Abram and Nahor both got married. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai. The name of Nahor's wife was Milcah, the daughter of Haran. Haran was the father of Milcah and Iscah, but Sarai wasn't able to have children. Terah left Ur in Babylon. He took with him his son Abram and his grandson Lot, the son of Haran. Terah also took his daughter-in-law Sarai, the wife of his son Abram. All of them left together to go to Canaan. But when they came to Haran, They made their home there. Terah lived for 205 years, and then he died in Haran. Genesis 12. God chooses Abram. The Lord had said to Abram, "Go from your country, your people, and your father's family. Go to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great. You will be a blessing to others. I will bless those who bless you. I will put a curse on anyone who puts a curse on you. All nations on earth will be blessed because of you." So Abram went just as the Lord had told him. Lot went with him. Abram was 75 years old when he left Haran. He took his wife Sarai and his nephew Lot. They took all the people and possessions they had acquired in Haran. They started out for the land of Canaan, and they arrived there. Abram traveled through the land. He went as far as the large tree of Moreh and Shechem. At that time, the Canaanites were living in the land. The Lord appeared to Abram at Shechem. He said, "I will give this land to your family who comes after you." So Abram built an altar there to honor the Lord who had appeared to him. From there, Abram went on toward the hills east of Bethel. He set up his tent there. Bethel was to the west, and Ai was to the east. Abram built an altar there and called on the name of the Lord. Then Abram left and continued south toward the Negev desert. Abram goes to Egypt. At that time, there was not enough food in the land, so Abram went down to Egypt to live there for a while. As he was about to enter Egypt, he spoke to his wife Sarai. He said, "I know what a beautiful woman you are. The people of Egypt will see you and say, 'This is his wife.' Then they will kill me, but they will let you live. Tell them you are my sister. Then I will be treated well, and my life will be spared because of you." Abram arrived in Egypt. The Egyptians saw that Sarai was a very beautiful woman. When Pharaoh's officials saw her, they told Pharaoh how beautiful she was, so she was taken into his palace. Pharaoh treated Abram well because of her, so Abram gained more sheep and cattle and male and female donkeys. He also gained more male and female servants and some camels. But the Lord sent terrible sicknesses on Pharaoh and everyone in his place. The Lord did it because of Abram's wife Sarai. So Pharaoh sent for Abram. "What have you done to me?" he said. "Why didn't you tell me she was your wife? Why did you say she was your sister? That's why I took her to be my wife. Now then, here's your wife. Take her and go." Then Pharaoh gave orders to his men about Abram. They sent him on his way, so he left with his wife and everything he had. So now we're going to read our highlight verse, Genesis 12, 1 through 3. God chooses Abram. The Lord had said to Abram, "Go from your country, your people, and your father's family. Go to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great. You will be a blessing to others. I will bless those who bless you. I will put a curse on anyone who puts a curse on you. All nations on earth will be blessed because of you." Okay, so here is our explain section. God told Abram to take his family, leave his home, and go to a new place. And you know what I like about that part is Abram did it. God made a promise to Abram. If Abram followed God, then he would make Abram's name great and bless all the people of the world through him. So because of the promise that God made to Abram, he obeyed, and now the promise will be kept from God. And what was that promise? He promised that if Abram followed God, then he would make Abram's name great and bless all the people of the world through him. And that includes you and me. Abram had faith in God, so he followed God's instructions. And what does it mean when we follow instructions? We're being obedient. Have your parents ever taken you on a surprise trip or vacation? You didn't know where you were going until you got there, but they knew the whole time. Abram's trip was like that. God knew where Abram was going, even though he didn't. Abram had faith that God knew the destination. So Abram was trusting God. He had faith in God to get him to where he had to go. He just put one foot in front of the other. And that's what we got to do too. So now the apply section. Abram followed God even when he wasn't sure where he would end up. Imagine what it might feel like to leave home without being sure of where you would end up. Work through the maze, there's a maze there, to see how Abram might have felt as he followed God's instructions to leave his home. So I want you to go ahead and grab your pen or your marker and start up at the top where the little yellow house is. Start from there and get down to the arrow at the bottom. Okay, now we will do the respond section and we'll pray. So bow your heads. God, thank you for giving me instructions on how to follow you. Help me have faith as I follow your instructions. In Jesus' holy name, amen. Great job. Now we'll go on to our memory verse.
Hebrews 11:8. Abraham had faith, so he obeyed God. God called him to go to a place he would later receive as his own. So he went. He did it even though he didn't know where he was going. Let's do it again. Hebrews 11:8. Abraham had faith, so he obeyed God. God called him to go to a place he would later receive as his own. So he went. He did it even though he didn't know where he was going. Hebrews 11:8. Abraham had faith, so he obeyed God. God called him to go to a place he would later receive as his own. So he went. He did it even though he didn't know where he was going.
Great job, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.